Hi, welcome back to the channel. This is Alicia's Place, and I am your pain management specialist, Alicia. So I wanted to actually continue the conversation about pain management. So what pops up when you search pain management? So I did just a regular basic like Google search to see what comes up, and the first thing that comes up is obviously like the listings of doctors, right? So when you search for pain management, typically you're going to come across doctors and people that can prescribe opioids or different pain management drugs, okay? And a definition also comes up. So, pain management, it is a branch of medicine. Pain management, painkiller, pain medicine, pain control is a branch of medicine that uses an approach for easing the suffering and improving the quality of life of those living with chronic pain. So, with this definition, there's so much to unpack because, really like nowhere in there does it even talk about like physical therapy or chiropractic or even body work or massage that can actually help the body to heal and reverse that chronic pain. As a neuromuscular therapist, one of my main goals is to help a person to reach a goal of basically like getting back to the activities that they love doing, right? That's why a lot of people, you have these activities, sports you may do on the side, or I don't want to say on the side, but like as a hobby, like you run or you do soccer or you play, different sports, right? Outside of your work life. But what happens when you get an injury and then, you have to try and recover from that injury so that you can actually work and not even just work, but also be able to return back to that sport. But how can you do that effectively, right? Because as we all know, like there is a very huge opioid crisis, and the first thing like a doctor will do is just prescribe you medicine. Luckily, though, some doctors are a little more conscious of the decisions that they're making when they are working with clients, or not clients, but patients. And it really all, I feel it kind of depends on like your your input as well. Like if you're just, if like say you go and you're like, hey, I injured myself doing this or that, and they're like, okay, well, we can prescribe you this, and if you're just like, okay, and just take it, they're not really going to like help you in the sense of finding something that's more natural or more holistic. They'll generally just send, give you the slip of paper and send you about your way. But if you bring to them the idea that you actually want to heal that area, say, you sprained an ankle, right? Say, instead of getting the injections and taking all of these medicines to basically trick the brain into believing that that area is no longer injured, because that's essentially what they're doing, is basically acting as a band-aid and masking the pain signals that are being sent to your brain. So, after a while of doing that, then your brain naturally like just starts to like shut off different areas of that part that had been injured, and it can definitely lead to further injury, another time, and then that injury is just gonna pile on top of the already, you know, not fully healed area. I had a scenario like that myself, which I had to go through. I would say the, let's see. So it all started in 2020. It all started in 2016. And I was injured on the job. And, you know, I went through the therapies, but I was feeling so rushed to get back to work. Like, I was like, okay, I need to make money. I need to, you know, and it doesn't help that the company, you know, their representatives just like make you feel like you have to get back to work, like you have to hurry back to work. Even though they're like, oh, well, you took, you know, we gave you 6 weeks. So they usually only give you like a certain length of time to be like off of work and rehabbing. And they expect you to kind of like rehab and get back to work, right? And so that's what I did. I ended up, I went back too soon. And then you know, working. Then in 2018, I re-injured the same area, but doing something different. Okay, so different action caused the same area. I did do a lot of repetitive motions. So for those of you that do jobs where you're like doing things over and over again that are similar, like baristas, you know, making the different drinks, cooks, nail technicians, barbers, hairstylists, like all of our jobs, cashiers, like any job you can think of, there's some component of a repetitive nature. And when, you know, you get injured and then you have to go back to doing that, but then you're like trying to still heal, it can really be a hindrance. And that's kind of what I ran into. And like the way my whole healing journey from then has been just this big eye-opening experience, which kind of led me into the field that I'm in now, as far as like helping people not only get through the pain, but actually like heal it, like help the body to actually heal that area so that the person can go back to full functionality. You know, I had an experience where they were wanting to give me the steroid injections. They wanted to give me a mystery injection as well. Like in the first kind of part, I was, and that's what I was saying. It really depends on like how you react or how you kind of participate in the conversation. Because if you don't have any like thing to bring to the table as far as, you know, hey, you know, I know that that's not going to benefit my body. Are there other alternatives? If you don't ask for those alternatives, like they're not going to just readily bring them up. Now, one caveat though with body work is it has to be classified as medical necessity in order for like your insurance company and things to pay for it. And a lot of us are starting to work with our states and our especially our, I would say especially the states, but like the counties and cities that we live in as well, because massage really needs to be incorporated and looked at as as part of the healthcare system, because we are a very intricate part. I spend probably more time with my client than the average doctor does, and actually like talking to this person and getting to know what happened, like getting the history of what happened, and not just the history, but also seeing where they are, being able to create a strategy and a plan. You know, a treatment plan is typically what you'll get when you're working with someone. like myself, you know, we don't want you to keep coming in for the same pain pattern or the same issue. um, we we're always measuring for that progress and that improvement. um, and then you know, after a few sessions, if things aren't quite improving, then we have the tools to be able to switch it up and choose different, you know, approaches to be able to address whatever you're going through. And so um, like I was saying, like, body work is one thing that's overlooked. So if you are dealing with pain, you know, a lot of times they like to send you just to a chiropractor or even just to a physical therapy. But they're not realizing that, hey, they may actually have trigger points in those muscles. They may actually have tight fascia, and fascia is basically connective tissue that connects our muscles together underneath our skin. And so if that gets tight, or if there's like an area where it's been injured, or like something has happened to that area, and it can cause trigger points in the fascia as well. You can get trigger points in your fascia, in your muscles, a little bit in the tendons, not so much, but mostly the muscle and like the softer tissue like fascia. But I would definitely connect with a massage therapist near you if you're not able to find one that can do, I would say, a mixture of like Swedish and, you know, sports, or like neuromuscular, like a therapist that has that skill set would be good to pair up with. And like I said in the last video, like, it really depends on how you speak to them. How do you request the type of massage that you're looking for? You have to be with a massage therapist. You have to I don't say you have to, but it's good to like give them what you're looking for, because 9 times out of 10, like, because of how massage school is taught, it's really geared towards the relaxation aspect, which is good because you need that in the massage. But then you also need the more focused work, and that's where neuromuscular therapist comes in, because we are able to do Swedish. We have that, but then we're able to also focus in and start to work out the trigger points and work out those tight areas that are causing pain, that are causing stiffness, and that are just overall causing discomfort, okay? And so, yeah, I would like to ask you guys, you know, what methods are you guys using for pain management? Are you on opioids, or like things that help to dull that pain? Are you looking for, I'm maybe assuming, you know, if you are looking at this video, you probably are looking for something natural or something as an alternative to what your doctor is trying to prescribe. And, you know, I've been thinking of how I want to set up my business, and I'm really having this idea of being mobile, but there are some restrictions behind that, because like each state, and see, that's the other problem with massage in the United States, is because each state's like requirements are so different. Like California has 500 hours as kind of like the minimum that you need in order to be certified. And then you compare that to like New York, where you need, I think it's 1,500 hours it was 1,000, but I think it's like 1,500. And then other places, you know, you may need 750. So like there isn't, how do you say, there isn't like a standardized entry like we see in Canada or other countries where there's kind of like this standardized test that massage therapists take. And, you know, in those other countries, like they are considered part of the healthcare system. So let me not get on a soapbox. I wanted to leave those questions with you, and feel free to, you know, leave comments below and tell me where you're from, because I all it would require me to do is submit, basically apply. I'm going to be taking a national test, so that way I'll already have that under my belt, and whatever state I want to travel to, I can already have it. Like I can go ahead and get that paperwork done and get certified to be able to work there, so that way if I do plan to travel, I can, you know, I'll already have the credentials. But anyway, I'm gonna head off. Yeah, so let's continue this conversation about pain management. You know, go ahead and leave any comments or questions that you have below, and I will do my best to answer them. I'll probably respond with a video. And yeah, I'm gonna head out, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.